this is the interview with the founder of Great British Wines, John Mobbs. When John first started the Great British Wine website, it was actually more of a blog style thing where he would go and meet with producers and then go and write up his findings as blog posts. But over the past 5 years, it has now become a reputable source of knowledge within the British wine industry. This means that John is now one of the first people to be called when producers want to market a new wine. He has been to countless tastings. He has taken hundreds of bottle shots. He knows all the winemakers. Basically, if there is somebody somewhere pouring sparkling liquid into a champagne flute, John Mobbs will be there. He has amassed an enviable collection of British wines. I really wish that he would invite me around his house a bit more. Anyway, he has jumped on board for the Big English Wine Good Friday, a campaign started by Jacob Ledley, and I thought now would be the perfect opportunity to speak to John, find out all about Great British Wine, find out where it's going, and see what he's got planned for the future. Okay, let's get started. Hi John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks, Hannah. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. At least we have the sun shining, right? Okay, so first question. When you first began the website, you had some skeptics, shall we say. You had people who weren't quite sure what you were doing, and you had people who were not sure about the name. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why you wanted to persevere?
So yeah, the first year of Great British Wine was actually quite a challenge. I didn't come from a wine industry background, but I was really curious to learn and discover more about the industry on the back of a growing interest in wine. The first hurdle was getting over that, really. However, with producers on my doorstep, it was easy to get out there, to visit lots of producers and to ask many questions. And of course, to taste lots of English wine. Social media has been a huge asset too. The industry has really engaged in Twitter, so it was really a good opportunity to make a connection with producers, to engage in conversations, and to get involved when it wasn't physically possible to visit all of them. As for the name, well, the English versus British debate still goes on to date. In all honesty, I saw more value in the brand Great British rather than solely focusing on English, considering the Welsh wine scene, urban wineries, and also the fact that brand Great Britain has more international power. So I think I was on the right track. Dare I say it, ahead of the curve.
Well done on that. And also, I think that the word Great British Wine is a term that we are using a lot in Britain these days. So I think it's fantastic that you use that name. Anyway, on to the next question. So the website is completely impartial. Can you elaborate on what this means exactly?
Yeah, so I often get asked questions like, how much does it cost to get our wine listed on Great British Wine? Maybe that's how a lot of websites work these days, but it's not really ever been my approach with Great British Wine. Perhaps I'm just not a very good businessman, but the intention for Great British Wine was never to make money directly from producers for us to talk about their wines. Essentially, my approach is that I'm happy to visit, taste and explore producers' wines, but I'll only write about them if I'm happy to recommend them to a friend. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to be a critic. I just wouldn't feel comfortable promoting wines that I don't believe are good enough to recommend. It's difficult sometimes, but I try to be constructive and give feedback to producers when the wines fall short of expectation and give them encouragement on sort of the next steps, and always approach with an open mind, really.
I'm sure that there are many people who are very grateful for the website, producers and drinkers. Okay, next question. Despite a nationwide boom in wine sales during this pandemic, the English wine industry is struggling. Please, can you explain to us why this is?
One of the biggest issues is that many wineries operate with a large proportion of their sales from the cellar door. Tourism is a huge part of this industry, and overnight that source of revenue has been shut down. Also take into account the fact that restaurants have closed, so the entree business has been completely decimated, drying up another crucial source of revenue for producers. Bear in mind that many producers have been making great inroads into restaurant wine listings over the last few years, so that business is currently stopped. That's why I had to jump on board the Big English Wine Good Friday campaign as soon as it started to gain traction. We've been actively encouraging people to buy online, buy direct, or support independent retailers who are experiencing similar business challenges across the industry. I've had many producers come back to me this week and say that people have ordered wines and mentioned that they read about it on Great British Wine on our social feeds. It's great to feel that you've helped, even if it's just a small contribution, but it's really great to get that kind of feedback from producers.
Well, John, I'm pretty sure that everybody is appreciative of your efforts. So, next question. How do you believe that the big English Wine Good Friday is going to help the industry?
Yeah, I think the main short-term win is the boost in online orders in a time when many producers are struggling to shift wine. I think then there's the ripple effect again with consumers and producers opening their bottles on Good Friday, sharing the wines with a wider audience, and the long-term hope is that more people are aware of drinking local and supporting the industry. And of course, getting together and sharing their wine experiences on social media with friends virtually when it's actually not possible to do it physically. And it's going to continue to give us more exposure for the wines.
So I know that you had lots of plans and events this summer, lots of tastings that have been postponed or cancelled. I'm wondering what Great British Wine will be able to do to continue supporting the industry.
One of the things I enjoy most is getting out there and conveying my passion and telling my English wine stories to the public. I did a lot of work last year with the Vineyards of the Surrey Hills group and Albury Organic Vineyard in Surrey in particular. And I plan to take this to a bigger stage this year with events penciled in Surrey and also in London. It's a real shame that I'm not going to be able to do these for the foreseeable future. So the focus will be on Great British Wine, will be on building more content, covering more producers that we haven't had a chance to before. I've hooked up with quite a handful of new producers that I haven't really engaged with before over the last week, and I'm really excited about featuring some of their wines on the website. Producers like Tickeridge at Black Boys Vineyards, who I'd never had a chance to try their wine before until this week, and also newcomers like Buzzy Jacobson, who reached out to me at the end of last week to get involved with the promotion. So I'll be talking about these wines and more on Great British Wine in the coming months, with a view to get out to a few vineyards and share further stories once some sense of normality resumes. Finally, I'm also looking at ways to get producers involved directly in Great British Wine, perhaps through short stories or through short posts about their experiences on dealing with the lockdown and how it's impacting their business and what they plan to do on the other side. So I think that would be a really interesting way to get some new insights into the industry onto the website.
Final question. If your house was on fire, which 3 wines would you rescue? Think carefully, okay? Don't rush into this one.
Okay, yeah, that's a difficult question. Looking at the wines I have in my house right now, I would say the ones that come to mind would be Gusbourne Blanc de Blanc 2008, which was a gift from Great British Wine collaborator Alex Ram for the birth of our daughter. We're saving it for her first year birthday, so that's a very special bottle and very much looking forward to enjoying that later in the year. So the second bottle would be the Greyfriars Blanc de Blanc 2013 Magnum. Greyfriars is one of my local producers and they're about 15 miles away from my home. And it was actually the first vineyard that I visited and wrote about as Great British Wine. So they're already a special part of my English wine story, really. And then also to add further value, 2013 is the year that I got married to Chen. And the plan is that we'll open this bottle to celebrate our 10-year anniversary in 2023. So definitely one to grab hold of. And being a Magnum, I get twice the amount of wine I would over a standard bottle. So perfect. And the final bottle would be the Nightingale 1086 Rosé 2010. I thought I'd treat myself to something extra special after 2 weeks of hard graft, working on the Good Friday promotion. And at £175 a bottle, this is definitely something that I wouldn't leave in the house if there was a fire. I'm also going to need it for my talk tomorrow with Brad Greatrix from Nightingale. So yeah, definitely a bottle I'm going to grab onto and look forward to opening and celebrating tomorrow with it.
Well, John, those were some great choices. I very much look forward to seeing what you'll be drinking on Friday. I will see you there with the rest of the team at 6:30 for our little Great British Wine warm-up. Okay, bye for now.
Yeah, thanks so much for putting this together, Hannah. Really appreciate the work that you've done and that all of the Great British Wine team has been doing over the last few years. So we look forward to working together and to sharing some new English wine stories and to a bit of a celebration tomorrow with a few wines. Thanks a lot and see you soon.
Great talking to you, John. See you.